These crispy chicken patties are so delicious, you've got to give them a try. Hi, and welcome back to Plating It with Wendy, where I share with you recipes which impress with ease. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, share, and comment. And if you enjoy trying out recipes that turn out right every time, you're at the right place. So go ahead, press that subscribe button. And while you're at it, if you hit the bell icon, you'll be the first to get notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get started. For this recipe, we're going to go in with 3 chicken breasts, which I've boiled, and the weight is approximately 750 grams. Now, I like to shred the chicken, but you could even put it into a blender and blend it up fine. But I'm just going to cut it first into strips before we shred it. I find that the chicken patties have a better texture when you shred the chicken by hand. I've used chicken breast for this recipe, but you could go in with chicken thighs, you could go in with chicken drums, or you could even actually use a rotisserie chicken or any leftover chicken that you have in the house. This is a very versatile recipe, and I really enjoy making these because it's my family's favorite. And now we're going to go in with the second one and do the same thing. Just chop it up first a little bit. And now we're just going to shred it like we did with the first one. And now let's cut up the third chicken breast. Now with this quantity of chicken, you're going to get about 12 to 14 chicken patties. Now let's keep the shredded chicken aside and make our bechamel sauce. To make the bechamel sauce, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter to a heated pot on medium heat. And I always like to use unsalted butter because you can always control the amount of salt you want to add. And now we're going to allow the butter to melt and then add 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, which I have finely chopped. And we're just going to saute the garlic till it flavors the butter. Now to that we're going to add 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and we're going to allow it to cook till the flour loses its raw flavor. To create the bechamel sauce, I'm going to add the 1/4 cup of chicken broth that I had got when I boiled the chicken breast. And we're going to whisk that till it mixes and becomes a paste. To that we're going to add 1 1/4 cup of milk. So now in total we've added 1 1/2 cup of liquid. And we're going to keep whisking it till we get a smooth sauce. If you follow this method of first putting a little liquid, then the balance, you're always going to have the smoothest bechamel sauce. Now let's season that with a little salt because the chicken stock already had some salt in it, some freshly cracked black pepper, and about 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg because no bechamel sauce is complete without nutmeg. Now let's whisk it together till it cooks and thickens. Now this is looking good, so it's time to take it off the heat and allow it to cool. Now to layer our chicken with a lot of flavor, we're going to add 1/3 cup of red bell pepper, which I've finely diced. I'm just going to add that in. We're going to add 1 green chilli for a hint of spice, and I've finely diced it up. Now if the chili is any smaller, you could always add in 2. For a tangy flavor, we're going to go in with about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And I'm just going to eyeball that here. And now to add some freshness to the patties, we're going to go in with 3 stalks of green onion. We're just going to finely dice it up right through the onion. And now let's add that into the bowl. And now we're going to chop up a small bunch of cilantro as well. And if you don't have cilantro handy at home, you could always swap it for parsley. Just going to cross chop that a bit. And now let's add that in as well. And now we're going to season it with a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper. Just about 1/8 teaspoon. And to make these patties even more delicious, we're going to add 1 1/3 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. And now let's give this a mix. I probably should have chosen a little bigger bowl, but we're going to make this work now. Well, look at all those lovely colors. It's already looking so delicious. I'm sure you can tell how yummy these patties are going to be. They are loaded with so much of flavor that I'm sure if you make it at home, they're going to disappear. And now that the bechamel sauce has cooled down, let's spoon it in. Now we're going to give that a mix and bring it all together. Now this is a great prep ahead meal too. You could mix it, refrigerate it, and fry it later. Or, like I'm going to be doing, fry it right away. Now let's keep this aside and prep our workstation for forming the patties. To coat the chicken patties, we're going to go in with 2 eggs and we're just going to lightly beat that up. And in another bowl, we've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And in the third bowl, we've got 2 cups of breadcrumbs. Now what I like to do is to season the breadcrumbs. You could always go with the breadcrumbs as they are, but seasoning the breadcrumbs adds another layer of flavor. We're just going to go into a pinch of salt first, some freshly cracked black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of finely diced cilantro, and 1 teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm using Kashmiri chili powder here for a lovely red color. Now let's give that a mix. As you mix it, if you feel you want to adjust some of the seasoning, you can always go ahead and do that. To get chicken patties that are of a uniform size, I'm going in with the trigger release ice cream scoop. And now we're going to coat it with the all-purpose flour. And this is going to help to dry up the outside so that the egg sticks on better. Just dusting off the excess. And now we're going to dunk it into the bowl with the egg. And using our fork, we're just going to roll it around, making sure it gets well coated with the egg. Now let's drain off the excess egg. Let's put it into the breadcrumbs. Put some of the breadcrumbs on the top so it gets coated. And now we're going to roll them around. Just place it on my cutting board and gently flatten it and turn it around. I'm going to flip it over and flatten it on this side as well. And there you go. Our first chicken patty is all formed. Now let's continue the process till we finish the entire chicken mix. Now if you wanted, you could fry all the patties up together, or you could store some for later. You can place them in a box, cover them up, and freeze them. And then we can enjoy them whenever you want. Now it's time for us to fry the patties. So to a skillet, we're going to add about 1/4 cup of oil. And we're going to heat it up till it's nice and hot. And to that we're going to add 4 patties at a time, because we don't want to overcrowd the pan because the temperature of the oil will drop. Once it's golden on one side, it's time to flip it over and allow it to fry on the other side. As soon as they're golden on both sides, it's time to lift them up, drain off the excess oil, and place them on a wire rack so that they remain crisp. Now let's repeat the process till we fry up all the chicken patties. We're going to plate the patties by first adding a little saddle leaves on one side, and this gives a lovely touch of freshness. Then we're going to place the patties, and you can place them in 2s or 3s. And we're going to add a little bowl of ketchup just in case someone would like a little of that. Oh my goodness, look at that. And now it's time to give our chicken patties a taste. And I'm really excited because I wait for this time. So now let's go ahead. Wow, check that out. It's so crunchy on the outside. Quite a big bit here. A little bit of the sauce, though I don't think that's really needed. Wow, these chicken patties are absolutely delicious. They're crunchy on the outside, and I love that texture of the chicken inside, and it's loaded with flavor. I hope you give this recipe a try, so hop onto my website, platingitwithwendy.com, where you will find the full written recipe. Thanks for watching. See you soon.